Good morning, everyone. Thanks for turning in today. During this week's assignment, we were asked to discuss 5 questions talking about our public speaking past, present, and future. Throughout the rest of this video, we're going to be going through question by question and discussing each one. Let's get started with question number 1. What is your previous public speaking experience before this class? My previous public speaking experience has been pretty general. Between school projects, I took a college speech class. In the Air Force, we go through a course called Airman Leadership School where you give multiple 3 to 5 minute speeches and just general briefings at work. One thing that may set me aside is the fact that I've been a musician and I've been playing bass since I was in 5th grade. So I've had multiple performances in orchestra, jazz band, rock bands with friends. I've played pit orchestra for musicals and like the little kids' version of the Nutcracker. So I've had a lot of experience performing in front of people. While it's not quite the same as being one-on-one with public speaking, it does correlate somewhat. Moving on to question 2, it asks, do you have more traditional public speaking experience or do you have more experience using 21st century media? And hands down, I have more experience doing traditional public speaking. In fact, this class is the first time I've ever used 21st century media during a presentation other than maybe a PowerPoint on a slideshow or something like that. Question 3 asks us to describe the way you typically approach preparing for a presentation. And I pretty much approach preparing for anything in the same way. I like to be very organized. Whether it's an essay, a concert, or a speech, I like to be very detail-oriented and outlined. During a speech or an essay, I will brainstorm all of my ideas, write them out in a solid outline. One thing that differs between an essay and a speech is I like to practice until it's muscle memory. I don't want it to be any confusion or bumbling around, struggling. So that followed me from being a musician. Question 4 asks us to describe your level of public anxiety. I think it kind of goes along with how prepared I am for a speech. I'm not a fan of it. I do get fairly anxious even with as much practice, but it does help. One example of how practice helps me is when I was in high school and I was playing in one of the rock bands. Me and 2 friends of mine, we played in this battle of bands that was 20 bands throughout all of northern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota. And I think there was roughly like 3,000 to 4,000 people in the audience. And I remember walking out on stage and I was so nervous. I felt like I was going to throw up. My hands were shaking. I actually had to take both my hands so I could plug my guitar into the amp. But the amount we practiced and everything paid off, because as soon as the first notes played, everything went away, all my nerves, and it was like we were just playing in their garage again, and it was awesome. We ended up taking 2nd place, and it was probably one of the most memorable experiences of my life. One new set of anxiety comes with this 21st century media. Watching myself speak. The first speech I did this week, I used my laptop's webcam, and it really threw me off being able to watch myself speak. So for this one, I'm actually trying to use my GoPro, and I'm seeing how that's going, and so far it seems to be working fairly well. So I think I'll definitely continue using this. Excuse me. And on to our last question. It asks, discuss how strong presentation skills will help you in the future in education or career. In education, I'm sure it'll just be your typical school presentations and just regular speeches, nothing too fancy there. However, for my career, I know for a fact it's going to help me out in the near future. The next job roles I'm rolling into will all be in management, and whether it's briefing a flight on day-to-day stuff, briefing morning meetings on aircraft statuses, or briefing the commander on aircraft statuses, public speaking is going to be a big impact in my life in the upcoming future. Well, that's it for my 5 questions. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to this class and improving on my public speaking skills and using the 21st century media. I'm pretty excited for it. Thank you.